Okay, we're here with fnatic as a winning interview from ESL, ESEA Pro League finals. Let's start off by the preparations from your team, because you had the whole day to prepare. In terms of maps, in terms of watching the VODs, what did you expect from the match?
We did expect the veto process. We expected 100% correct. We went through it a few times. We struggled a little between what maps we should ban, but we felt like Train was in the end the obvious choice. So me and Pronax just watched all the other 5 matches, because we knew they were gonna ban Mirage as well, because they don't play it and we're fairly good on it. So we knew what maps should be played, and we prepared well for them. Looked through a lot of matches, a lot of VODs, demos, everything. So we felt prepared.
So, have you ever considered picking Mirage over Cobblestone? Because as you said, Cloud9 don't play Mirage at all, and you had that first pick before banning. So, was that in the consideration?
We've changed some rounds up on Cobble. We had some new stuff, which we don't have on Mirage. It felt like they had much more to read on our Mirage side, because we play Mirage as we always have been, and they're a very strategical team. They know how to study their opponent, so it felt like we could surprise them more on Cobble than we could on Mirage. But what was the other map? We felt like we should have picked Inferno first instead.
Yeah, we discussed like it was like 2 players wanting to pick Inferno, 2 players wanted to pick Cobble, and like 2 wanted to pick Mirage, I think. So yeah, I don't know. We ended up playing Cobble. I don't know why really.
No.
I think Vuggo just decided it, I guess. I don't know really, but yeah, it was pretty split the thoughts about what to pick, but
yeah. But actually, both me and Pronax watched some Cobble, and it felt like the things we saw on Cloud9 wasn't that impressive, and we felt like we could really shut them down on Cobble. But they showed some really new stuff. They played great on Cobble, and we didn't play that well. Lots of loss in communication, didn't hit our shots. No offense to Cloud9, but we weren't in the game. They played well, so yeah.
So what was the thing that surprised you the most inside of the game from Cloud9? Was it the aggressiveness that they did in the beginning? What was it?
I think they actually like prepared very well. Like it's obvious that Sean is doing very good work, and it's doing like the right work. He knows what to look at and what to do, and like yeah, he's doing a great job anti-stratting them. I would say like teams overall. So I think we got a bit like surprised. I mean, we knew he was good at anti-stratting, you know, based on the other games here. But somehow, like, we thought that maybe we aren't that easy to anti-strat, you know, because we like, yeah, we go a lot on like our gut feeling and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'm impressed in that way. Like they found a way to anti-strat us in a way like only Existence have found on us so far, I think. So I'm definitely impressed by that.
All right, second map was the Cash, that was Cloud9's pick. How did you feel like going into that map? Because they beat NVS twice at this tournament on it. What did you think?
We didn't put that much weight in them beating NVS, because like we watched the NVS games, they were a shadow of themselves this event, I would say. I don't know if they came unprepared or if they like didn't take it as serious as they should. I don't know. It just didn't look as NVS, you know, so we didn't put that much weight into that. And sure, we lost against Virtus Pro and Cash, but we usually have a very good cash. So I don't know. We really just went in like confident, playing our own game. I think we won the knife, right? And we started, and we decided to start Terrorist because yeah, Pronax feels it's easier to call, you know, and like build the momentum as T-side, because we are very good at T-sides, but it's very hard to like, if you start CT, you struggle 13-2 or something like that. Like, it's hard to call and get the momentum going, you know, so yeah, I think it just went our way pretty much.
Yeah. Also on Cash, we knew that Cash is probably Cloud9's strongest map, and we have been studying them a lot. and I think they knew that we have studied them a lot, because it felt like they didn't play their own game. We didn't recognize any play that they were playing, so I think they got out of their comfort zone, and that's why we could roll so easily on Cash and not the other maps.
So do you think they overthought themselves? Do you think they just like thought you were going to do something and they just tried to enter strat way too much? Is that what you feel like?
Yeah, it feels like he was trying to almost mind game himself. It felt like in our favor. So
yeah, and also like I think to add to that, like I think they knew 100% that we're gonna pick Cobblestone, so they prepared a lot for Cobblestone, I think, and like put a lot of time into that because they knew 100% that was going to be played. So I think maybe that's why he maybe focused a bit less on the other maps and maybe got out of that zone. But yeah, we just played great on Cash. We didn't really give them a chance, I would say.
No.
So the following map was Overpass, and it actually was 13-8 when you started picking up more rounds in a row. Do you think at that point you figured them out, or did they just make mistakes? What do you think towards the end of Overpass?
The thing is, like, we felt pretty much like the whole game that they only won rounds because of our mistakes, you know. They won like all the 2x or 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3 and like all the clutch situations, you know. And I don't know, it felt like we did the stupid mistakes that costed us the rounds. So we just kept saying to ourselves, like, just keep playing like we do. We will get the rounds, you know, because if we don't do those mistakes, we are gonna get the rounds, and that's what happened in the end, pretty much. We just kept playing our game, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Just 2 was kind of the similar thing. You started, actually you were down 15-9, 6 map points down, and you just kept splitting B. Did you notice a flaw in their defense there?
We have been looking at them before the game, and when they played Envious, they had 3 guys towards B and 2 guys towards A, because they know Envious do a lot of B splits. We thought that they were going to do the same thing against us, so we started out the game by doing some A strats just to set their minds on fire. And when we later in the game switched off to starting to go B, it felt like they had no clue what we are doing. They felt very insecure in their position, so we took advantage of that quite good, I think. It felt like every call Pronax did was brilliant.
Right. Even if you didn't win Death 2, it would have been the Inferno, and you even said you wanted to pick that map, or at least some of the players did. Did you feel very confident in that map, because Cloud9 haven't been very solid on it recently? Did you feel the same way?
Well, we feel like we're one of the best Inferno teams in the world, if not the best, and we know that they struggle on it, so why not?
But the thing is also, like, we thought they struggled like on most maps before the tournament, you know. So like, I think I think it could have gone either way on Inferno, actually. Like they have worked hard for this event, and I'm super impressed by them.
All right, I've already asked this Pronax this question, but the schedule has to feel pretty good for your team. I know people have been kind of criticizing the schedule just because you only have 2 games in a day, 2 best of 3s or a best of 5. How did this feel from your perspective, both like in game, having the cushion to only play a couple maps a day, and from outside of the game preparing for it, everything?
I think like the whole like experience overall for me was okay. I must say it didn't feel like a major tournament, you know, but I mean, I think the potential is there for sure. Like mostly the table space, for example, that's a big issue for Counter-Strike players, and we played at, I believe it's the old LCS area, so it's LOL spaces, you know, and they don't really take as much space as Counter-Strike players, I would say. So I think that was the biggest issue, like tournament-wise. But then also, of course, the heat, but like they can't really do anything about it, you know, except trying to get more fans and stuff like that. I think it was pretty okay today, though. Like,
yeah, today was fine. Yeah. Yesterday was not fine.
No, today
there was a lot of water.
Yeah, yesterday it was like insane.
Yeah.
But the like schedule, I believe it. I feel like it would be better to like start Thursday, Group A, everything best of 3. Then Friday, Group B, everything best of 3, and then they can have like semi-finals and finals like they had, you know. So I think that would have been like a better schedule, at least to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way in what Jesper said, but also it feels like, well, for me, to have only 1 game per day, it makes it much easier for me to prepare, as well as Pronax. Also, when the heat was as it was, it feels like I don't see us playing more than 1 best of 3 per day, because the heat was killing us really. So looking at the conditions, it actually came out the best way, I think. But if it would have been better, the conditions were better, like the heat, everything like that, they could definitely do as Jesper said.
All right, as the last question, now that the North American team has once again made the final of a bigger tournament. Last time it was faced at finals in Milan, I think, with AWPer, which is like 8 months ago. So it's been a while since we had a good North American team. Do you feel like, considering Cloud9's style, that they have these surprising strats, surprising things that people don't really expect, do you think it's kind of a one-off for Cloud9? I don't want to say they just like it's a one-trick pony, but do you feel like when people know how Cloud9 play, they're going to have a harder time?
No, I think both Cloud9, Keed, CLG, they're all three very great teams. I think they will do very great in the future, and I will make sure Pronex doesn't slip through the preparations next time.
Maybe I can add to, like, I think I'm very impressed by them for this event, of course. But I really think and hope like next event is like the final test for them. You know, I think this event the European teams maybe weren't like that prepared for them. You know, they didn't watch them as a threat, sadly. But now they really do. I think so. I think like next major tournament where the NA teams is, that will be like the real test for them. You know. And I actually is quite confident that they will succeed then as well.
All right, then that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for the interview. Do you have any last words, closing statements?
Thanks to all the fans.
Thanks to everybody watching the tournament, supporting us, like everything. HLTV is great.